Hello and welcome to episode 16 of Journeys in Fandom Season 2. Yay!
Happy New Year to everybody.
Yeah, Happy New Year. How are we 16 episodes in? How did we manage this?
with no plan and just...
Yeah. How long was Season 1?
Oh... I've not. You've been counting the seasons. I've not been really. We talked about this ages ago, didn't we? It started way back. Oh, was it? Oh, I don't know. I'll have to work that one out. It was something like we had an anniversary quite a long time, not that long ago, didn't we? In October.
Yeah.
And I can't remember. Well, there was something like 20. About 2 years, wasn't it? We were still conventioning at the time. Yes. We went through. Definitely went through Matt Smith to Peter Capaldi, because I remember when we rickrolled everybody, and that was at our height of our fame. So
yes, oh god, yeah,
we'd gone past that. We'd also gone past the 50th. So yeah, I think I would hazard a guess as to say 2 years. Yes, I'm going to go with that.
Wow. And how long have we been back? Because it doesn't seem that long to be 16 episodes in already.
Oh my god. 16, it's not 16 weeks, has it? It's been longer than that. We started in... No. The idea was developed at the end of March, so I think April.
Yes. Yeah, that sounds... So actually, 16 episodes in what? 8 months? 9 months?
Not bad.
That's not too... Admittedly, Doctor Who's 60th did help.
Yeah, it did boost our productivity.
We became weekly.
We boosted our productivity by like 200%. Normally it was one every couple of months, but now it was like 1 a week.
Yeah. Yeah. And I do love you for your effort you put in to make sure they actually get sent out to the great viewing public.
I could probably get this one out. I've got a bit of a system going now, so it's actually quite easy to get it churned out on a Sunday morning. So spoilers, when we... So you never know, might get this out tomorrow.
Who knows? So we are talking about the year that was 2023.
Yes.
And we have fully planned and prepared for this, haven't we, Tim?
Yes, we've got topics that we're going to discuss.
Yeah.
We
are totally ready.
Right. Well, we won't talk about Doctor Who because I think we've done that to death, haven't we? Really, we've done enough of Doctor Who in terms of reviewing 2023.
However, I would like to just throw the only Doctor Who related thing I'm going to talk about today.
Okay.
With an asterisk saying I might be lying. Whenever I speak to anyone about bi-generation and then RTD's little off-the-cuff comment about it happened all the way back to the timeline, the look on their face is always the same. It's simply, what? What? Just, what? It's just this look of... But why? But no.
Exactly.
But, oh God.
Yeah. Are these like normies? Are these just like normal Doctor Who
anyone,
watchers?
even like fans or normal people.
Yeah.
But yeah, the response is the same all round. It's just why? Good God, why? It's just. I think they broke it.
Flippant
I think
comments.
They've just broken Doctor Who.
Yeah, if they just left it alone, it's kind of like one step too far, and now they're kind of, and but because he said it in an off the cuff commentary, is it real? Is it canon? I suppose it'll only become canon when Sylvester McCoy wanders onto screen in the near future as himself, old self or whatever. That's when we know it's real.
Oh God, could you imagine? Or is he just messing with us? Is he just thinking that people like us will go, oh, that's a comment, and just go with it like we have?
Sometimes he does do that. He says things in interviews or in stuff, and then everyone just goes, oh, it must be true, and actually he doesn't mean it. And it's just, I think if anything's in an interview in writing is what I kind of treat as 100% correct. Anything that he's just sort of sitting with, it was because he's sitting with his mates, wasn't he, just laughing.
Yeah.
And you kind of think, is that real?
No. Well, he's just winding us up.
Yeah.
Hopefully the latter, but maybe the former. Who knows? So,
but yes. Doctor Who, that's done.
Yes, done. Move on. So, 2023. What did you think of 2023? Was it a good year? Was it a good year for you? What were the highlights of 2023? Obviously, we're back.
Yeah,
that's
we did this. That's got to be a highlight.
Yeah.
In terms of fandom?
In terms of anything.
Yeah.
How many prime ministers did we have? Like 7?
Was that all last year? It all kind of blends into one.
It felt like all last year, because obviously Liz Truss lasted 5 minutes. So it must have been...
When did she go? I thought she went before. I thought she was 2022. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know. When days become weeks, become months, become years.
September to October 2022. So they don't count.
Was that really 2022?
Yeah.
You mean I can't talk politics for the next hour? I feel disappointed.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose it's kind of a weird one, isn't it? Because we still talk about COVID as being like last year, but it wasn't.
That's true.
It's now coming up to 4 years since all that kicked off.
Yeah.
Which is weird. That's definitely weird that it still has such a bearing on everyone's lives, but it was actually 4 years ago.
Yeah, well, I had an eye test this week, and they said, when was your last one? I went, a couple of years ago, what, 2015? And they went, that's 9 years ago. And I went, no, it's like 3 years ago. What are you on about?
No.
Yeah, time is weird.
It is weird. When you get to a certain age, it gets even more weirder.
Yeah, and I think we've both reached that certain age, haven't we?
Yeah.
Where we've got older and grumpier and just go, oh God, why?
It just dilates. Sometimes it goes really fast, and other times it goes really slow.
Yes.
No, politics. So, I'm not going to...
Yeah, because that could be a whole thing on its own, couldn't it? We can talk about it when we look forward to 2024, can't we?
Yes, because this year is going to be hilariously funny on this side of the pond and also in America, because it's all going to kick off.
Yeah, so let's talk about the past before we have fun with the future, shall we? What? I'm just trying to think. Was there actually anything? Was there any memorable moments in 2023 other than obviously our shared fandom ones? Do you know what? I can barely remember 2023.
Coronation of the King. That happened.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, again because. There was the big gap.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Because she died in 2022, but there was the gap.
Oh, yeah, because Liz Truss killed her, didn't she? And, of course. Yeah.
For the benefit of the legal team.
That's why I thought she was last year.
The Judges of Fandom legal team, that Liz Truss did not kill the Queen. She died of natural causes. Oh, God. But he didn't get officially crowned until this year. That's actually, I watched that. Bits of it with my son. Yep. I wasn't that interested, but I got really nervous for all the people because it's that horrible thing where you do not like public speaking, but like things in public and you're carrying something like Penny Mordaunt and the sword, or the bloke carrying the crown. You just think if he trips over now, he's gonna be in the shit, isn't he? Because he's got the king who he's sat.
But that moment would never be forgotten.
Yeah, exactly, ever. So I got so stressed out for those little people, like who just doing all those work.
But at some point, you're wondering which one of those people is going to let the voices win, aren't they? There's that little voice back in your head going, "Go on, drop it.
Just
go on, drop it." Or imagine for a moment, distressing as it would be, for being Penny Mordaunt for a moment and just swing it like a lightsaber. Go on, make the noises. Go on.
Yes. So that was, for the first UK listeners, that was a big thing, wasn't it? Whether you like them or you don't like them, the monarchy is the backbone of our society and not going anywhere realistically in our lifetimes, I don't think.
Because that's the thing. A lot of people were saying, would he ever be king, weren't they? Because obviously Queenie was great, because most of us don't remember a time before her, because she was a young queen and had been around forever.
I think my parents would have just about, but only just, not that many years. But for us, our generation, every generation after us, we've only known one monarch until now. Yeah.
And obviously she was popular and liked and respected. Obviously there are people that will disagree with that completely because they absolutely hate her. But him was a different kettle of fish completely. Everyone's just going, really? Is this, are we doing this? Because there are lots of people saying, they're just going to skip him completely and make, what's his face?
William. Yeah, because he's arguably more popular. But we might get to see William as king, probably when if he inherits the same genes as his mother, then Charles will last for a good what? Wow, he's about 70 odd now, though, isn't he?
He's 77.
So give it 20 years. Give it 20 years. So
Yeah.
we'd definitely see William, and we won't see. Who's the next one? George. We won't see George as king unless there's something drastic happens.
Well, unless something goes very wrong. Could you imagine us sat here in 20 years, 20 more years of jadedness just added to this?
Not to talk about Doctor Who, but there'll be some kind of craziness going on, won't they? Russell will still be there, still writing.
Yeah. It will be in full VR, so it'll be like a full contact hologram. You can have me in your living room. What more do you want? I think that image is now going to be burned into many, many people's heads.
Yes.
Of just me in the living room doing a little dance. Yeah, there
on Alan Partridge.
Yep. 60-year-old me just got the stuff. There we go.
Yep, it's going to be one of those episodes, folks.
Yep. Yeah. I was going to say, we're obviously in the Christmas and New Year mood. Time has no meaning anymore. It's great.
It's that kind of sort of lull before we get back to business.
Yeah, it's that first week you're allowed to be silly. And I'm still counting this as that first week.
Like I say, is it still the first week? I suppose technically it is, isn't it?
It's the 6th of January, mate, so it's the first week in my book.
Still 7 days.
Yeah, I've got 1 day's grace left. It's fine. I am genuinely trying to think of anything in 2023 that actually stuck in my memory.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, isn't it?
Well, we had the collapse of bloody Bitcoin and NFTs and all that lot. That whole system just fell apart.
Yeah.
So that was fun. We had Reacher on Amazon.
Yeah,
that was good. We like that.
Oh yeah, and the new series is even better.
I'm really enjoying it.
I'm not watching it fast because I want to savor it. It's like, this is so good. This is so good.
Yeah,
it's
admittedly, every Friday I'm going, new episode. Oh yes.
I watched two in 2 days, and I felt guilty for watching 2 in 2 days. No, got to slow down a bit. Yeah. No, I would say that's probably arguably the series, film, TV, whatever you want to call it. The peak of 2023 was Reacher.
Yeah,
because it was that good. Oh, actually, hang on a minute. That wasn't out in 2023. That was out in 2022. I know that for a fact.
2023 literally had nothing in it.
Season 1. That was out in early 2022. Yeah, it was late January, early Feb.
I watched it in 2023.
Yeah,
I'm going to stick with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Hang on, I've got a thing up. Year in review. This is really bad. What did happen?
Barbenheimer. That happened. I know that happened.
Oh,
that definitely happened last year.
Barbie.
I saw a quote from, I think it was Meryl Streep actually, or someone big like that, saying basically, "Dear Barbie team, thank you. You saved cinema." Because actually, because I think cinema had been in such a weird place post-COVID. There hadn't been
fair point.
any big films like post-COVID, and Barbie was kind of that cinema moment that doesn't happen that often, where suddenly everyone gets caught up in it.
Arguably the cleverliest, because that word, the most clever marketed film ever that completely hid what the story was about until you went and saw it. Oppenheimer I've not seen.
It's on my list.
Yeah, I'm going to rent it, stream it and watch it, and because it's supposed to be very good, and arguably that one is surely going to get an Oscar for Cillian Murphy, you'd think, because it's the kind of thing that Hollywood likes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Speaking of films, arguably 2023 was the not downfall but the decline of Marvel, and probably superhero films in general, but definitely Marvel, I would say.
Well, of course. Last year, what's his face took over DC, didn't he? James Gunn.
Yeah, and
basically killed DC cinema presence overnight. Yeah,
and all the DC films this year, with the exception of Blue Beetle, are all last in the line of the old stuff and were kind of just ground into non-existence. So Aquaman 2 has been getting panned for being awful. Flash wasn't great. I saw that. I thought it was, again, because you're watching it knowing that none of these people are coming back. I didn't see Shazam. Apparently that wasn't very good.
I think this is a problem. When you're told that this cinematic universe is dead, you just don't care anymore. Like, I'm a DC fan, and I didn't bother with Flash, didn't bother with Shazam 2, didn't bother with Aquaman 2, didn't bother with Blue Beetle. I just didn't bother with any of them. I just went, I just don't care.
Yeah, and
even the Marvel films, I've just gone, I just don't care.
No, last Marvel film I saw was Ant-Man, start of the year. It was okay. I've not watched any of the TV stuff that's come out. Don't intend to. Obviously half the press, Jonathan Majors was found guilty and has been sacked. So the whole multiverse thing is up in the air at the moment, isn't it? Because of the writer's strike, I think the only film Marvel have got coming out this calendar year is Deadpool 3, which is not in any way linked to anything. It's kind of stands out on its own a little bit. So they've got a year to kind of decide what they're going to do. Marvel...
is Deadpool coming out, or wasn't that put back?
I think it's coming out at the end of the year.
Oh, yeah, because it wasn't meant to be May or something. Yeah.
I think it's been pushed back because it was already half... Oh, it says here, 26th of July, so... Yeah, you could argue. What else I can say went out of my head? Marvel's was a complete disaster. That was the last one they put out this year. Bombed.
Yeah, I watched that.
Was it any good?
It was 90 minutes of watchable film. And to be fair, I just wanted it to be a film recorded on a camera, and it would have met my expectations. If I'm being blunt, I went in with zero expectations, and it met all of them.
Yeah, it's not good.
And the joke was, what's her name? Thingy Khan, Miss Marvel, was actually one of the better things about it.
Yeah, I watched the Ms. Marvel TV thing 2 years ago now, and that was good. It was for a certain audience, like a teen audience. You could tell she was great in it. I thought she was really good. That was possibly the last one I watched. I can't remember. I'm just looking. I forgot Guardians of the Galaxy. That was the last successful Marvel film.
Oh yeah, that was good.
But
yeah,
that was the end of the trilogy, wasn't it? So you could argue that's standing on its own. It's not lending itself to the multiverse. It wasn't anything to do with it. It was on its own. So yeah, no, that was good. I enjoyed that one.
Yeah, because obviously at the end of that one it says, what's his Star-Lord will return, but it doesn't mention any of the others. And you go, no. So none of them are coming back.
It kind of rounded off all their storylines quite nicely, didn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, Marvel, we talked about it, didn't we? A mess that is Marvel. They are in a bit of a mess now. It's there was I can't remember who the interview was with. I saw it on TikTok talking about how the Marvel movies, or not Marvel, but superhero movies, have created this new thing in Hollywood, in films, where in the old days you'd see there was like the Schwarzenegger movie, a Sly Stallone movie. Tom Cruise is the only one left, really, where the movie was popular because of the person that was in it. Now it's the other way round. It doesn't matter who's in it. It's the franchise that's trying to make it popular. They use the example of name a Tom Holland film that was successful because he was in it. And they said you can't really, because he was Spider-Man. And the reason he was successful in Spider-Man is not because of him, it's because of Spider-Man, the franchise, makes him successful.
If you look at his non-Marvel movies, Uncharted, that one with What's-Her-Face from Star Wars.
No,
exactly. That's the problem. You're going, name a Tom Holland movie, and you go, Uncharted. That one with a woman from Star Wars.
Granted, he is young, and that was the example they were giving, that actually these films are based around you go to see it to be part of the universe, not to see a good story anymore. And it's quite formulaic with what you expect from it, and people have got bored of that formula to a certain extent. And also, I think, as we said in previous podcasts, because now Marvel, you have to have watched all the TV shows and all the films. And the Marvels is a classic example. If you hadn't seen the Ms. Marvel TV show or the Scarlet Witch Vision, you wouldn't know who the two main characters were.
Yep,
and I don't know if
that problem. Yeah,
I assume in the film they didn't explain who they were in much detail.
They give a quick sort of cover over. And again, I'm struggling to remember that film because it's like Endgame and Infinity War. I can go, yeah, this happened. It was hours long, and I can remember each of the plot points. Whereas the Marvels, it was a case of they meet, they sing a bit, they swap some powers, the villain is defeated pointlessly, and oh look, it sets up the X-Men. Sweet.
Yeah. So they're in a bit of a mess that there's so many things that will feed into it because people say, oh, it's superhero fatigue. That's a small point. And also the Marvel movies recently have been rubbish. They've not been any good. Whereas that run up to Endgame, nearly everyone was a hit, perfect hit. And now they're just all over the place for whatever reason. Bad writing, bad direction, and it's just messy. And the TV shows equally have not been great.
If to talk on Marvel for a moment, I think the problem is if you have such a cinematic event that Infinity War and Endgame were, that took so long to create and deliver, afterwards you go, well, Christ, you then kind of, for want of a better phrase, you've shot your load, and you just go, where do we go from perfectly timed. But no, that's the joke. You go, well, actually, you've had your climax of your cinematic universe. Where do you go from here?
Yeah, because they're trying to make it bigger. But I always, even way back when they announced all this stuff, I thought they're never going to top Endgame because it was a perfect lightning in a bottle thing. Never been done before. The major Marvel characters everyone recognises, everyone identifies with, they've all gone now. All the major actors, they've all gone. There's so many things that are now changed. And not to mention the whole Jonathan Majors mess that they've got themselves in for. Incidentally, I don't know if it's true. Again, TikTok is the fountain of knowledge for me. Quite a few people posted saying the rumour is that when Jonathan Majors negotiated his contract, in his contract was that Kang would not get recast for whatever reason. If he ever left, they wouldn't be allowed to recast him, which may explain why they've been dithering about what to do next.
That's a bold thing to get in a contract.
Yeah, I don't know if
surely
it's true.
Marvel must. Yeah,
I don't know though. You know the mess they're in at the moment because they're talking about removing Kang and bringing in Doctor Doom and completely shifting it. But anyway, aside from that, it's an absolute mess. Because like all the TV shows they're producing, Echo is out. I didn't even know Echo. She was in Hawkeye, but I didn't even know she was a character. Who asked for a TV show like that? Really, from a B list, not even B's, like a Y list character that no one really has any investment in, and they're going to produce it because they can. Like we said, they churn it out.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Money machine goes through, isn't it?
I think DC, in a weird kind of way, DC are in a I'm not going to say better position, but they're in a different position because they have started again, or they are going to start again, whereas Marvel are still knee-deep in their own mess, and they can't admit defeat. They've got to keep moving forward, haven't they?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, so that's
again,
Marvel.
For DC, what do you try and do the big team-up thing, or do you just make individual good movies?
Yeah, because I said it before, the Batman with what's-his-face, Cedric
Rob
Diggory.
Pattinson,
it was great. Because it stood alone, it was a really good story, really good characters. I could watch it again and again. It's good.
Yeah.
It doesn't need a shared universe with all this nonsense. It just needs good stories.
Yeah. So what else big would happen in 2023? So Doctor Who turned 60, Marvel disappeared up itself, DC tore itself apart, we got a new king. We watched Reacher. It was good.
Even though it was out in 2022. But the second series was out in 2023, technically, wasn't it?
Just about.
Yeah, just at the end of this.
Yes.
December.
Yes. It
so
counts,
that
it's
counts.
fine.
It balances it out.
What I did sort of see is there are a few people saying that Alan Richardson, whatever his name is, he would make a very good Batman. Because he's physically big enough and can pull off a suit.
And he's got
he can do the Bruce Wayne. Yeah. And that was the thing. Like, to be Batman, you've got to be charismatic enough to be Bruce, but scary enough to be Batman.
So
because he was Reacher ticks those boxes.
He was Aquaman, his first ever TV thing in Smallville.
Yes, and then he was Hawkman. No. He was Hawk in Titans.
Of course he was. Yes, I didn't realise that. Of course he was.
Almost made a slip. That's how he went. He was Hawk. No, he wasn't Hawk.
Yeah, Hawk and Dove, wasn't it? I never finished watching that. I need to go back and finish watching that. It's reminded me.
We were still on that post-COVID lull, so nothing new was happening because there wasn't enough time passed for anything new to happen, other than stuff that they managed to get done. So it's a weird, non-year, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's kind of coming back. I'm just... of course, we talked about it in a previous podcast. Dungeons and Dragons film was out. John Wick 4, not seen that yet.
I mean, it's a John Wick film. It does what it does.
Fast and Furious 10.
Oh, Part 1, Section A, Road 34.
Oh, I love it. It was great.
It's all about family.
But even it jumped the shark about 2 episodes ago, and even I had to sit there and go, I love this franchise, but it's getting a bit corny. And they killed off John Cena, which really annoyed me. Although he'll probably be back in the next film.
Spoilers.
Yes. Oh, sorry, I thought you'd seen it.
No.
Oh, whoops. Well, he may or may not die, but on the contrast, someone else comes back who's alive, so you kind of balances it out. But I won't tell you who that is.
Well.
And Reacher's in that as well.
Oh.
Yeah, he's in that as a CIA dude, a new character.
I think we should just rename this podcast to We Like Reacher Podcast. He's great. Please,
just keep
make more of him.
It is good, though.
Because he's great. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's one of those shows where you go, this guy is physically opposing enough to just hurt people.
Yes.
And you go, yes, I appreciate this.
And if you've ever read the books, how they do the fight scenes is how they do it in the thing. Especially Reacher has the habit of, he doesn't let them talk. He just headbutts someone. Because that's one of his rules, isn't it? Get the shot in first. And it happens in the thing. It's like the bit with the bikers and they surround him in the car park and the guy's mouthing off and he just headbutts him even before he gets to finish his sentence. I thought, that's Reacher.
What I did like one of the recent episodes is when he's interrogating someone. He goes, normally I'd do this quickly, but I haven't got time, so I'm going to choke life out of you. And he went, all right. That works. I often quote Reacher at work and people don't get it. There's quite a lot of his kind of like life lessons. It's like, no one's getting this. No one's read the books. Yeah, good times.
Anyway, so, TV. What about TV? Besides Doctor Who, TV evolves again. It just, I suppose we could talk about the fact that Rings of Power cost Amazon X billion of dollars and has done not very well.
The most expensive TV show ever that did nothing
and just absolutely bombed. Reacher is the most watched Amazon show of 2023, and it only came out in December. And Rings of Power, I think, was not even in their top 10. I can't remember. It was something weird. But Reacher definitely was the most watched Amazon show of 2023. And it was only out for about a week.
I confess, I love Lord of the Rings. It's on my to-do list. But you know what? I can't be bothered. It's sad. It's so bad. It is really embarrassingly bad. They've meddled with Tolkien, made stuff up, changed things around. Dialogue is awful. The sets and the costumes are awful compared to what we saw in the movies for half the price 10 years ago, or how long it was ago. 20.
Oh God, yeah. And
4.
that stood the test of, because it was out when I was at university. That stood the test of time, that has. Whereas it's bad. It's not worth the effort, but they've got to keep pushing on with it. So I don't know how many series we're going to get. It's going to be awful this year when it comes out.
Yeah. That's the thing. That's the sort of TV show I go, yes, this is for me. I am your target audience, and I don't want to watch it. Because, again, I've not heard anyone say a good thing about it.
No. Here we go. Top viewed shows. Reacher, Gen V. So that's that boys spin-off, which I've not seen.
Oh, yeah. I've not watched it either yet. It's on the to-do list. Yeah. Well, 5th. That's not too shabby.
The Boys. That was out last year, wasn't it, as well?
Yeah.
It's a great show, that is.
Oh, yes. Herogasm. What good times.
We need to have a podcast about that, don't we, really?
Yeah.
Because the Boys is just awesome. That's, again, how you take a comic story and just create it for TV and don't change anything. Obviously, change some of the storylines a little bit closer to the bone that probably wouldn't get produced, but essentially the characters are the same, and it's like, it's great.
Yeah. And how do you make a obvious Superman copy interesting? And you
just make him a nutter.
Yeah, what happens if he was a bit nuts and likes drinking milk?
Yeah, he's great. I didn't realise, obviously both of them are New Zealand. They're not, neither of them, obviously, Carl Urban's not, I knew that anyway, but the other guy, he's from New Zealand as well. So when you hear them in interviews together, it's like, whoa, he's not American.
Yeah.
Because his first role was on Shortland Street, and I remember Shortland Street used to be on ITV in the afternoon, around neighbours' time. There you go.
You're officially old, and this is coming from me, who is apparently older than time itself.
Neighbours, 1:30 in the afternoons and 5:30.
Oh yes.
If you're off school sick, you've got to watch it early. You see.
Yeah. I remember occasionally if I had home dinners, I could. I think the thing is, the lunch break would end before Neighbours started. It was really annoying. You go, no, I want to watch Neighbours. I can do it. I can get back. I can't.
Well, that came back this year, didn't last year?
Yes.
Because it finished in 2022, and then a bit of an anticlimax. It came back again on Amazon. So Amazon brought it back. I've not actually watched it for years, to be fair. I only really watched the finale stuff because it was quite nostalgic. So
that's the thing. If you need regular content, a soap opera, is Amazon. Talking of Amazon, adverts.
Oh yeah, I got the email this week. £2.99 I would have been happy if they just upped the subscription by $2.99 and just said this is like Netflix do, but they've kind of said, oh yeah, you it's like
because aren't Netflix doing the same as well with
they've
limited
got different
advertising.
They've got different. I don't know if it's come out in the UK, but different tariffs.
Wasn't there like an ad? Yeah,
you can pay less or not at all or something. It won't be not at all. You have to pay something, but you get ads.
Yeah.
But Amazon have gone the other way.
Yeah. What do you think about Amazon's decision to have adverts? Because again, you're going, Amazon makes more money than most of us can actually comprehend. If you combine, so like having Prime gives you next day or same day shipping on a load of products from Amazon. It gives you the TV stuff, and you go, why do you need this extra money for, guys?
Yeah,
you have enough cash.
I suppose the Amazon muddies the water because what you pay, you get more. It's not like comparable. You can't compare Netflix to Amazon.
No,
because I don't think you can pay for Amazon and just have the video. You've got to get the delivery, the music. You get all that.
Because Amazon Prime is everything, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. So however it is a year or how much a month, it doesn't compare because you're getting more services than Netflix. I don't know. Like I said, I'd prefer they just be honest and say we're going to put your subscription up by £3 a month.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to pay it, here's a cheaper one with adverts. But it doesn't work because they can't split the service in. So it's annoying. I'll end up paying it. I'm going to have, because I can't be doing with adverts in movies and stuff like that. It's going to annoy me.
I'm also intrigued. What is the definition of adverts? Are they literally going to stop a movie halfway through and put an advert in it?
Well, that's a good question. Actually, that's a good question. Are they going to be like...
If it's an advert, because I know like there's on Prime, there are some channels where there are adverts in it. and you will have an advert after a show ends or before you start. It's unskippable, and it's 30 seconds, and you go, yeah, whatever, I don't care.
A bit like YouTube. It's that kind of thing, isn't it?
Yeah. But if they stop my movie halfway through and put an advert in it, I will come for Phasos. I will be there.
I'm trying to have a look to see.
I'll be camped outside the house with a rifle, kind of thing. Oh, we are getting cancelled on
that line. Limited ads. What does that mean, though?
Yeah, it says less than a advert subsidised TV channel, which you're going, well, I would expect so, because they're every 15 minutes and they're like 2 or 3 minutes long.
Yeah, because they wouldn't put it through movies, would they? I don't know. I suppose it'd be, maybe it's like those other channels, like you said. What do they do?
Well, they literally do like an advert at the start of each show and at the end of it. And you go, well, I can live with that because it's like 30 seconds to 2 minutes of adverts, and I'm making a cup of tea anyway, so who cares? But if, like I said, if they stop a movie halfway through for an advert break, could you imagine? Because they've been a bit coy. Yeah.
Yeah, what does it actually mean?
Yeah.
I might just leave it and just see what... Well, the Americans are getting it on from the 29th of July, and we get it from the 5th of Feb, so we'll know about it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't actually say in any of these news articles what it means.
And I think that's probably on purpose.
Yeah. Yeah, none of these things, movies, TV series, documentaries, all have adverts, but it doesn't say at what point you're going. Surely they wouldn't put through. They probably would put them through a movie, wouldn't they, to make you pay the extra $2.99? Don't know, but
because like we said, if you start your movie and there's a 30-second advert, cool, I'll go make a cup of tea while it's on. Don't care. But if halfway through my movie, could you imagine, like Arnie movie, mid-action scene, and it just stops, going, and here's an advert for PG Tips.
Yeah.
I would come for them.
Well, I suppose streaming services are losing money, aren't they? Prime, not some. I suppose they are losing money because they spent how many billions on that. But each Netflix is changing it. Disney, we talked about, is losing money, and they're kind of looking. I'm still 2 minds whether I'm going to cancel my Disney. Because I got it's not such a good deal now. When it first started, I paid yearly for it because it was like a discounted rate. But it's coming up for renewal soon. And I'm thinking, is it worth my while? Do I really want to keep it? I'm tempted to cancel it because I'm not watching it. Like I say, not watching the Disney shows. Son doesn't watch it that much, really. He watches Netflix. I'm tempted to cancel it.
It's like, for me, I've got Netflix, I've got Amazon. I've got Amazon because I had a Prime subscription and it just was with it.
You've got it, haven't you? Yeah.
Yeah, and actually getting stuff the next day, sometimes you go, actually, I need one of them tomorrow, make it happen.
Yeah,
so that's
I agree. That's really handy.
And like the amount of times I go, when was the last time I actually watched live TV and the whole TV license thing? I'm going, do I need a TV license anymore?
Because I've considered that, and I thought the hassle factor of just being harassed, because people are still getting harassed. I suppose the last live TV I watched was Doctor Who at Christmas, and a couple of other things at Christmas. So really, I only watch, I suppose, when Doctor Who's on, and then Christmas time. That's the only time I'll use iPlayer for anything.
Yeah, and I think for me it was the same. I was literally when I've not watched a Beeb for years, and went, Doctor Who's on, I'll watch it on iPlayer.
And ITV, Channel 4. I probably watched a couple of stuff on the Channel 4.
Well, I saw stuff on channel. I turned my TV box on and said, Channel 4's catch-up stuff is going to be done differently because they're getting their own app and it can only be done through there. So they're taking it off, like one of the catch-up services I normally use. And went, that's a bit weird. And the fact that so it's like the American model of just like cable channels, effectively.
Yeah. It is weird.
Yeah. So, like for me, the only reason I now have TV license is Doctor Who.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, dear BBC, you're getting my TV license because you make the TV show.
That's
more for me, I guess.
Yeah. Don't watch Channel 5. ITV, rarely watch it. I think last thing I watched on ITV was probably the World Cup 2 years ago. There isn't anything on there that appeals to me. I've got BritBox, and most of the stuff goes on to BritBox, so I probably will keep that subscription this year because I got that again through a discount. I was like, actually, there's some good stuff on it. And I've watched quite a lot on it over the last year. But there's also things like Paramount, which is like, I don't want to touch that. I don't know what's on that. What else? There's loads of Apple Plus. I had free for a bit. Watched Ted Lasso, and that was it. Don't need it now. There's all sorts of stuff that you think, well, you could spend a fortune if you think about it.
Well, that's what I was thinking, actually. If you had every subscription TV channel, that would be hundreds of pounds a month.
And Sky, if you bought Sky or Virgin or something as well for live TV.
Yeah. Absolutely mental. It'd be a couple £100 a month to watch telly.
No.
So we've talked about 2023, 2024.
2024,
the
really
year
already.
We are in. What we're looking forward to?
Doctor Who, obviously.
The obvious, yeah.
Film wise, well, because of the writer's strike and all that, it's all a bit up in the air, isn't it? So there is Deadpool, which genuinely looking forward to that. We've got, let's have a look. Most anticipated
I have
movies.
I have a question about Deadpool.
Yeah.
Is it going to live up to the hype that we're all now giving it?
Well, there's a couple of things.
Yeah.
Number one, Disney. How meddling they're going to be in the magic, but it is. But to balance it out, it's Ryan Reynolds and it's Hugh Jackman. Now Hugh Jackman won't come back unless he wanted to. He's great mates with Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds has driven Deadpool since day one, hasn't he? Even day zero, he's been pushing it. So you got to think that whatever they're going to do is worthy of it being a good film. You'd hope. Let's have a look. What we got? Don't know. Oh, Argyle. That looks quite good. That is with Henry Cavill as it's an author who writes a book about super spy called Agent Argyle, and it's Henry Cavill. It's worth going and seeing the trailer for it because it's Matthew Vaughn who did Kingsman, yeah. And so it looks really good.
Oh, are we going to get a Cavill Bond, basically?
Basically, yeah. It looks bonkers. It's got John Cena in it as well and Samuel L. Jackson. It does look really good. Cena pops up everywhere.
Love it.
There's something we did talk about 2023. Vince McMahon sold WWE, didn't he, for X billion dollars?
Yeah. And because obviously Steph quit when that happened.
That was before the sex scandal.
Yeah. Because obviously Vince was gone, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And then suddenly she's left, he's back.
And then he sold it
for because it's now all owned by the same guys as UFC, isn't it?
Yeah, TKO Holdings is the overall thing. But yeah, they sold, and actually since they've sold it, it's been really good because they got rid of him during that thing, put Triple H in charge, and actually the storylines have actually kind of made sense.
Yeah, because obviously they've done a lot in Saudi Arabia that's gone down like a fart on a lift. And because obviously they've got some issues.
70 billion or something, a million or whatever they got. They did it with boxing as well, isn't it? It's what they call it, sport washing, trying to hide some of the issues in the country. So the money's there, so that's where it's all going.
Did they do it with football as well, or is that my imagination?
Well, the Qatari World Cup, not so much because it wasn't Saudi. Well, no, I suppose it's Saudi Arabian League where they just spent all this money on bringing a load of players over to Saudi Arabian League. Yeah, and of course they've not gone there for the money. Yes,
no. Yeah, what's your paycheck? It's always got 9 zeros. Excellent.
Yeah. So we digress. But yes, WWE getting sold was monumental.
Yes.
Got back to me film list. Madame Web. That's going to be...
That'll happen, I guess.
It's going to be awful. It's the Spider-Man shared universe. It's going to be awful. June Part 2. Not seen the first one.
Do we get Across the Spider-Verse Part 2? Or is that next year?
Might be the year after, I think. I'm still scrolling. Goldberg? What am I saying? I've got the rest of them here. Ghostbusters. Frozen Empire. Sequel to
Oh yes, the new Ghostbusters. Yeah, Afterlife. Yeah,
I've not seen Afterlife. I do need to see that. It's just one of those ones.
Afterlife was good. I liked it.
Yeah, a lot of people said it's supposed to be very good.
It was a good handing of the torch.
Cool. I do need to see it. Godzilla, Kong, New Empire. That should be good. I like the previous ones. Fall Guy. Who's playing Lee Majors? Oh, it's like a remake. Who is it? Ryan Gosling. Fall Guy. That was awesome. No, see that. Oh, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Oh, I didn't know they were doing another one of those.
Oh yeah. So I was just an advert for that while I was watching Marvels. Actually, I think.
Yeah, didn't even know they were going to do that.
That's pretty good.
Bad Boys 4.
It's set like a few hundred. What?
Will Smith has got to do something. Yeah, I haven't seen the previous one with Go Back to Planet of the Apes. So yeah, it's set after 100 years in the.
Because it's like 300 odd years after Caesar, isn't it?
They're going to have to be getting soon to remaking the original where What's-His-Face goes in the spaceship.
Yeah.
Bad Boys 4.
Bad Boys 4?
Yeah. I suppose.
My mind is blown.
Beverly Hills Cop. I knew that was coming.
Sorry, what?
They've done another one of that with Eddie Murphy.
Is it a remake or... Oh, really?
Sequel? Yeah. Yeah. I knew it was coming, but I didn't know it was this year. Deadpool 3, yeah.
Admittedly, Beverly Hills Cop wasn't that quite of its time, though, so will it work nowadays?
I don't know. This one, I'd forgotten all about. Borderlands from the video game. It doesn't look very good at all. And Borderlands is one of my favourite franchises. And the cast, apart from Cate Blanchett, just doesn't strike me with any level of confidence whatsoever. So we shall see. Alien Romulus. That's supposed to be yet another sequel to one of the Alien movies.
Oh, God.
Yeah. I thought that was...
They made two good ones. They should stop there.
Yeah. Craven. That's another Spider-Verse thing.
Oh, yeah.
Trailer looked good, but it's Craven. All these characters need Spider-Man. Venom can kind of get away with it, and it worked. But all the others have to have Spider-Man, otherwise it doesn't work. Oh no, adverts, go away. Beetlejuice 2. Joker 2. That's the sequel that no one wanted, but...
Yeah.
Speaking of sequels that no one wanted,
Joker was a film no one wanted for a start. Yeah.
Gladiator 2. Yeah. They've been hinting about it for years, though. For years. Wicked. Oh, that should be quite
dead.
Good. No, it's his son or his nephew or something. No, his son's dead as well, isn't he? Spoilers.
Wicked, they're all dead. He killed the family. Oh, Wicked will be good.
Yeah. Prequel to The Lion King.
Sorry, what?
I can't say it. Mufasa. There's loads of films I've never even heard of that you kind of go, oh, all right, there you go. So there is going to be things out next year.
A prequel to The Lion King. I'm sorry.
Prequel to the 2019 remake. So that soulless thing where they had real life lions and it was really not very good. They're going to do a prequel based on Simba's dad.
He dies by wildebeest.
Well, I suppose it's going to be him and Scar, isn't it?
Oh. But, oh God, they're going to try and make Scar likeable and it's going to be all Mufasa's fault.
Well,
he's not going to die by
it's all those live action, excluding Aladdin, all the live action things that Disney have done have been soulless and they just lose their soul, the heart of it.
Yeah.
The Lion King was always a really kind of colourful cartoon and they made it real life. It's like, it's just really depressing.
Well, I confess, like even Aladdin, they're going, you just haven't got Robin Williams, mate. It's just not.
Yeah. At least Will Smith did it differently, and it was good. I enjoyed that one.
Yeah. Well, let's face it. If you'd done it the same, you'd be obliterated.
Yes. So there are all the films. There's loads of films, actually, that I had heard about and thought they'd be miles away. I was surprised if quite a number of them don't make it because of whatever reasons.
Yeah.
The writer strike delays.
That's going to be interesting. So, politics and 2024.
God, we've done 50 minutes. Well, 2024 is going to be a fun year because our beloved leader has hinted that our election is going to be at the second half of 2024, which is unusual, around autumn time, supposedly a week after the US presidential election, which is just bizarre.
What?
It was hinted the date.
What happened to elections in May? That's when it's normally happens.
It should be in May. It always should be in May, but obviously they're thinking they can get away with it if they hold out long enough. People will forget how shit they are. But if it's going to be after the US election, what they're trying to do, hide the bad news stories in the inevitable shitstorm that's going to be the US in the run up to our election by sort of hiding it in and amongst the mess that's going to come out of the US. That's basically what they're going to do. Yeah. Okay, we know Trump's going to kick off, so let's do our election after them, and we can hide all the bad news stories.
Do you think Trump's even going to be on the ballot?
Yes, I think the Supreme Court's going to rule next month, February, for all states, because they've contested it in Colorado, and they've said they will rule for all states, and I can't see them, because if they remove him, it sets a scary precedent for. I don't support Trump, but I can see their point of view is that he's marketed himself as a anti-government candidate, and he's just, every time someone arrests him, does something to him, he just say, well, this proves my point, and his popularity goes up every time he gets arrested. He's so far ahead in all the polls, and he's just basically saying, look, they're trying to silence me. This is exactly what they're trying to do, and unfortunately the courts in the states are all Democrat, so naturally he's just saying, well, look, Democrats want to get rid of me. It's playing into his hands. But then on the flip side, Biden's useless, and Biden is useless, and he's going to run again, and Trump is going to walk all over him if they get to that point. Yeah, it's going to be really interesting this time. Really interesting.
It's what, like with Trump, he is going to be a convicted felon.
Yeah, it's going to be there's so many things.
But surely that disqualifies you. There's rules here, guys, that say no.
Well, he's not been convicted yet, has he? So
this is the thing. You're going, well, at what stage did it count?
And also, there's this weird thing about presidential. What's the word?
Immunity. Yeah.
Immunity. Yeah. So, and also, he could just pardon himself if he got elected president. He just pardoned himself.
Yeah.
Which is bizarre. Yeah. So there's so many things, but it's an absolute mess across the board because the Republicans haven't got anyone else who's popular enough to challenge him. Ron DeSantis has disappeared off the face of the earth. Biden is so unpopular for all the stuff that he's done wrong that you just think, but he's running at the age, I don't know being ageist, but he's running, what is it? He'll be 86? I can't remember.
At least, yeah.
So, and he's not looking good. Trump's like 70 odd, 76, 78 anyway, which is a whole different conversation about age of politicians. But it's just going to be so interesting to watch what happens. I just can't see them removing him from the ballot because that will send shockwaves across everything, and things will unravel.
If they convict him on like sedition charges and all this, and actually he could be bankrupt. He could be so many things.
Yeah, it could go.
There's so much up in the air.
Yeah, and it's just bizarre, but it's so interesting because it's this year, less so than last time. Is all eyes will be on it because there's so many things resting on who gets in this time round.
Well, I think you've got war in Ukraine.
Because Trump has actively said he will stop all funding.
Yeah,
and push for a ceasefire. Yeah, China and the relationship there, the borders.
Well, you've got
all joking apart,
Gaza and Israel.
Oh God, we're not going into that one. But yeah, equally, Trump going in would change. Well, any Republican going in would change the sort of like the outset of all of that. But I can't see anyone other than Trump being selected for the Republican Party because there isn't anybody else. There's nobody else who is anywhere near as popular as he is, which is bizarre. It's really bizarre.
Yeah, I think, I hate to say it, but I think American politics is broken. I think this is the end times kind of thing. Is America the final chapter?
Yeah,
because they're in such a they're so polarized, they're so partisan. You're going, nothing happens.
Yeah,
and their whole system, you just go, Jesus wept. What the hell?
With ours, Conservatives will lose, and then the Conservative Party will eat itself alive, and out of that ruins will come Suella Braverman, likely Nigel Farage, and that will swing so far to the right because they've got nowhere else to go. So
my fear is, will the Conservative Party lose? I don't think they will.
Well, if they're holding out till November, apathy will creep in. People will think, they're going to lose, I'm not going to vote for anybody. And
exactly. I think that's going to be the thing. It's going to be everyone's going, oh no, the Conservatives are dead in the water. And that's exactly when they win it. Because unless everyone turns up and votes tactically, because our system is a mess anyway,
you
just go, It's like, oh, cool, I'm going to vote such and such. Cool, that's a wasted vote, mate. You, if you're not voting for the person that's going to put the Conservatives out, you have wasted your vote.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be an absolute...
one party to drop out tactically, and you can get rid of a load of people very quickly, but they won't do that because it's democracy. But
it's a case of they need to go, and the joke is they will win by a landslide.
Oh, yes.
In fact, I will put a pound bet right now that whenever we have an election, the Conservatives win by a landslide.
Oh, wow. All right. We'll have to remember that this episode. Let's see. I say they won't. I say they'll get voted out. There you go. There's a pound each way here.
I want to be proven wrong because I really do think the Great British public will be apathetic and they will vote poorly or won't bother voting at all.
Okay, you bet that one. I shall bet a pound that Trump gets in as president. There you go.
Oh, Jesus. So
we could end up just even Steven here.
December 2024,
when we do this podcast.
Trump as president and bloody Suella Braverman as PM.
Well, it'll be, the time we do the review of 2024.
No, we'll have bloody Nigel Farage as PM, won't we?
The inauguration is the end of January. So this time next year, we'll be doing this podcast so we can pay up one way or the other.
Oh, God, that's giving me like a cold shiver down my urethra kind of thing. God.
You're hoping for the multiverse, aren't you? You're hoping for the Hooniverse to get something different.
I just want to know. Just, good God, could you imagine?
Yeah, a bizarre series of events.
I think to quote Jonathan Pye, and I think when Hillary lost to Trump, as soon as everyone said, "Oh, he cannot win," was the exact moment he won.
Yeah,
and I think history is going to repeat itself. I think he is going to, like you said, he is going to win by landslide. It's not even going to be funny, and he'll take both houses again. And America will just burn. Yeah. And the problem is, we're going, the Conservatives weren't going to win, but who are going to vote for instead? There's no opposition.
It's the same with Trump. If you look at the Democrats, the assumption is Biden has a right to, as the incumbent, to run. But if you took Biden out of the equation, there isn't anybody else who's... I couldn't name another Democrat who is anywhere near fit to challenge. There isn't anybody. Normally you have like a hierarchy of people that you kind of go,
admittedly,
Kamala Harris would be the only obvious choice, but
she's obliterated.
Yeah, because she's been a no mark anyway for the last 4 years. I can't remember the last time I saw her on TV.
Bernie Sanders.
Too late, I think.
I think he's too old and he's too left. If that's possible.
Americans don't like socialism, so
yeah. Elizabeth Warren, same problem. She's too lefty.
There isn't really anybody coming up through the ranks.
There's no centrist, is there? Yeah.
And the Republicans, all the people that are waiting, are just waiting for Trump to disappear before they there's no point. They might as well just sit and just let it all happen, which is,
yeah.
There you go. There you go, joining Fandom fans. We talk politics. Yeah.
Yeah. And now I don't want to be on the planet anymore.
It's 2024. It's all going to be exciting.
Yeah. I think I tell you what, the end of this year could be really, really depressing.
Yeah. Or just.
And I have a horrid feeling we've just called it.
The worst case scenario has been called.
Yeah. Yeah, we are in the darkest timeline.
Ooh. Timelines, multiverses. Again, it's all about that.
Yeah. Yeah. I was going to say, at one point we should actually do a little quiz of how many references or quotes from other people we've slotted in to a podcast episode.
Oh Lord!
Oh God! Oh, that's a really depressing thought.
We got to end on a high note. We got to end on something positive.
Okay. It'll be 2025 soon.
2025. What's happening in 2025? Something exciting.
Heat death of the universe. We can pray for that, can't we?
Oh, it's European Football Championships next summer, so England will obviously do exceptionally well.
Lose.
Yeah. England men's team, I should say. I can't think of anything else.
Yeah. Well. Okay. On that note,
I think we should end it here before we just flounder.
Yeah.
And slowly sink.
Yeah. Well, I feel just the waves of depression just hitting me.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
We shall go away. We've not shouted many clouds today. We've not got that angry. We've just got really depressed.
Yeah. I think we've gone the other way. Rather than our normal shout at clouds, we've just gone, I just don't want to be here anymore. I just want to go and cry in the corner.
And eat ice cream.
Yeah. I need ice cream and chocolate and a cup of tea.
There you go.
And maybe a little cry.
Right. On that note, we hope everyone has a wonderful 2024. We will be back soon with something else once we've decided what that is. If in doubt, more Doctor Who. I will say a cheerio from me.
And I will say, oh God, I'm going.
What have we done? Bye for now.